All right. I find myself at a point where I need to sell most of my possessions, and I do need most of them. Might even have to sell almost all the furniture. I'm not sure yet. I do know I have my house listed for sale, and that was not my choice. Two individuals could not follow their obligations, their contracts, their legal documents, and are costing me a huge amount of money. I do have legal recourse, but I have to have money to follow that legal recourse. And one of the principles in this is made sure I don't have any money, so I can't find justice in this issue. So, whatever your life is like, you might find yourself where you have to sell everything, and I'm here to give you some advice, okay? First thing I tried is going around to the local resale shops. And boy, you're in for some really harsh lessons when you do this. Jewelry. I got lucky. I found a local used jewelry store reseller who paid me 80% of the value on quite a few things. Now, when we say 80%, coins, that's a great deal because eBay takes 20% of the value anyhow. So what he's paying me is eBay prices that I would receive selling them to him in his store. So to me, that was wonderful. I brought all my dad's old coin collection to him, my coin collection. I'm sad to see some of it go because I had some really rare $1 bills. One of them was marked Hawaii on it and had all red ink instead of green. And I wish I hadn't sold it. And he paid me like $70 for that. I had a misprinted $5 bill he paid me $100 for. I probably could have got more for that on eBay, but I took what I could because I am in a big financial bind. I sold my wedding band and my ex-wife's wedding ring to this guy. And wedding rings, here's something that you really need to learn. I'm going to make a separate video on this alone. Never buy a wedding band from a retailer. Go find yourself a used jewelry store and buy it there. You will pay closer to the value of the ring. Like Zales will sell you a $10,000 ring. You could take it in and get it appraised. The appraised value is $3,000. And then when you go to sell it on some sort of marketplace, you're getting $1,500 for it. So be very careful when you do jewelry. All right, I got a little bit more for that ring than expected after talking to 2 or 3 resale places. So that was good. So do your research. Selling stuff online, it might be a good way. I never tried Worthy. I was too afraid to send, that wedding ring through the mail to Worthy, then for them to appraise it and them sell it. I don't know what their commission is either, but probably I might have gotten more money for it that way. But this was an in-person transaction. They gave me cash. It was done. Now let's move on to collectibles. Oh, here we go. What was once collectible changes over time. You all know this. Beanie Babies. My gosh, those things were selling for ridiculous prices years ago. Now they're like 50 cents each on eBay, if you can even find them. So collectibles change in value dramatically depending on the year, the economy, and a bunch of other stuff. Local resellers. There are a few of them here in town that deal with things like Transformers, comic books, video games, stuff like that. One of them was going to give me 5% of value. One was going to give me 2% of value. One told me you give me 20 to 30% of value. So I brought them a bunch of Gundam model kits and a few other items. They gave me $100 for 7 items. And then I go home and check their website, and 2 of those items are listed for $150 to $200 each. So he gave me more like 10%, even though he told me he'd give me 20 to 30. So these people, they are not in it to help you. They're in it to get your stuff out of your hands as cheaply as possible so they can sell it and make money. It's understandable. They got to pay for a storefront. They got to pay for employees. I do get that. But they don't have to rip you off like, I'm going to give you 20% and then relist it that high. That's not giving you 20%. I didn't look at the items before I took them to him, so that's partially my fault. Had I seen they were going for $200-300 on eBay, they never would have gotten in his hands. And then up next after that, we go to Facebook Marketplace. Okay? I live in a small Texas town. Facebook Marketplace, pretty much worthless. It's a college town, which means college students just flood this place every fall and spring. And at the end of semester, they're selling their stuff like crazy. The ones that bother to try to sell. Most of it just put it in boxes by the curb where they were living. You can find $1,000 sofas by the curb with little to no damage. I know a couple of people here in town who spend weeks at the end of the semester collecting furniture, putting it in storage places, and then driving to Houston and selling it on the weekends at flea markets. And they make pretty good money that way. Okay? When stuff like that's going on, Facebook Marketplace is worthless. I can't sell anything there. Okay? Besides, anything below $20 on Facebook Marketplace, no one's going to pay you for it. I mean, I can list like a cotton candy maker on Facebook Marketplace for $20. I get 15 responses within an hour. Not one of them will show up, but every single one of them is going to eat up 15, 20 minutes of your time asking questions about the item they have no intention of buying. So, Facebook Marketplace is pretty worthless. So here's my advice. Jewelry, coin collection, precious metals. Take it, find a good local place. Okay, here in College Station, I live in College Station, Texas, it was Dave's Coin and Jewelry. They were wonderful people. They paid me a fair value for my stuff. I cannot thank them enough. Then you move down to the next tier, collectibles. You're going to have to sell them online. Find a group that does selling. Go to eBay. I'm currently selling mine on eBay. eBay does take 20%, but that 20% is better than what any of your local shops are going to pay you. Lego. I'm selling my Lego on eBay. I've got a local shop. I've talked with the owner. He was getting upset with me for selling my stuff on eBay, but I leveled with him. He understood. I'm bringing him a gift later because he's been so good with me and helping me with things. I found I have 3 black original spacemen from the 70s. And I know they're worth about $50 each. I'm going to take him one for helping me. Okay? It's just kindness. Return the kindness. Okay? So eBay, Lego collectibles, I'd sell it on eBay. Make an eBay account. Build up some feedback. I mean, my feedback's over 900, so I'm selling, and it's all 100% positive, which is incredibly hard to do. And I'm selling everything fairly well because of that. I've got enough feedback. People are trusting this auctions will go well. And I take a lot of care when I package my items. Anything I think is breakable, I'm using bamboo skewers to reinforce and wrapping them in plastic wrap, bubble wrap, all sorts of stuff. So everything gets shipped properly and is not damaged in transit. I even made one little figure, a helmet out of paper, so it's intended didn't break in shipping. Okay? And it was a $10 item. Go on. Go figure. But, you know, the person who gets it appreciates it. And that's why I got such high feedback. And then when you get past that, there's an estate sale. I've talked to an estate sale company. Once I get through with everything I can sell on eBay, I'm probably going that route with the rest. I could do a garage sale. Garage sales will work because you got to price your items and other things. The estate sale takes 20 to 30% of the value as well. She may take 30 to 40. I don't remember. I've got it written down. But they're going to take a chunk of the value. You can do a garage sale, but the estate sale is going to bring in more per item than a garage sale will. So it kind of is offset a little bit so it doesn't hurt as much. Okay? And then we get to garage sales. Garage sales, you can sell damn near anything, and that should be the lowest tier, the stuff you can't sell any other way. You know, like your cotton candy makers, your bowls, your dishes, your fine china. No one buys china anymore. I have 3 sets of china from Japan from the 1950s that 10 years ago would have been $100 a plate, and now I'm lucky to get $50 for a place setting. Just people don't buy it anymore, so the value's dropped. I've got some nice silverware, the same. They came in wooden cases. I can't sell them. No one will pay for them because no one uses it anymore. It's just extra stuff in the cabinet that you're never going to use. Okay? So you just got to do your research when you go to sell your life. It's the only thing you have that you can do. And it's been a harsh lesson for me to learn all these different routes. Now, if you've got kids, the toys, you're not selling them on Facebook Marketplace. You might be able to sell some of it on eBay, but it's ridiculously low price. And forget about stuffies. You cannot sell stuffies unless they're Build-A-Bears or some other sort of collectible. The Build-A-Bears actually sell at a halfway decent price on eBay. And we've got about 100 Build-A-Bears in this house. Yes, I spoiled my daughters. Some of you have seen them. You know why they get spoiled. Okay. And yeah, some of them I can sell on eBay. And I'm okay with that because some of those I paid $20 for. If I can sell them for $10 on eBay and the girls loved on them for 3 years, to me, that's okay. That's a fair exchange. I just gotta make sure they're in good shape before I sell them. Okay. But toys, you're gonna have a hard time selling toys. Clothes, you're gonna have an easier time selling clothes on eBay than you are in a garage sale. That is freaky weird, but that is the truth. Okay? People will buy clothes on eBay pretty fast. Don't know why. Take good pictures, list it. If it looks like it's new, they'll buy it. Okay? You can get decent prices for things, which is surprising. So, I hope I'm helping someone with all this. Quick rundown again. Coins, precious metal, jewelry. Find a good shop local to you who will pay good money for it. You can't go wrong there. Collectibles, eBay. And be careful because what you thought was collectible when you bought it may not be collectible anymore. Barbies, you're not getting anything for Barbies on eBay. Good luck with that. They're too flooded. The market's too flooded with them. Lego, definitely eBay. I listed Lego at completed auction prices. Actually, I bumped the price up $10 a set. Sold them all within a day. Surprised me how fast that stuff sold. And it was above completed auction price. So apparently there's a good market for Lego on eBay. Transformers. I got a bunch of Transformers. I'm not selling them. I'm just going to hang on to them. Original Dinobot Generation 1 going for $40 on eBay. That's not worth my effort to sell that. I'll just hang on to it and keep the memories of playing with it when I was a kid. Okay? So you got to be careful with your collectibles. Furniture, estate sale. Kitchen stuff, estate sale. So I would have an estate sale after you sell everything you can. I would avoid Facebook Marketplace for anything under about $30. Maybe in a big city it's different, but where I live, no. I can't hardly sell anything there. And then when you do, you constantly get lowball offers. So I just don't bother anymore. I've got office chairs listed on Facebook Marketplace that I paid $120 for. My girl's butt sat in them while they played video games for a whole hour. And I'm getting $5 offers on them. I can't even understand that. So they're going to stay and go in an estate sale. Garage sale is the last thing I would try. Okay, and if you can't have a garage sale, then you're going to have a little bit of fun with that. Another thing you're facing is in the neighborhood I live in, people just give stuff away like crazy. They don't even ask money for things. It's been amazing to me. A couch, 6 months old, they just give it away. All right, we didn't like the color. Here, you can have it. Well, you can't sell used items when people are doing that. Okay? And it's been surprising to me how much that does. Or they just put it by the curb. Okay, that's another thing. You want to take things to charity, and I might make a separate video on charity. Now, let's throw it on the end of this. Goodwill and some of the local charity places, they're very picky on what they accept. And I have a friend who worked at Goodwill who told me Goodwill actually throws away about 50% of the items that are brought to them because they cannot sell them. Okay? Like toys, stuffed animals, a lot of them just go straight in the trash. We have scavengers who come around here once a week looking for trash, and we've talked to a few of them. They pick up the items, they take them home, they sell some in local resale shops, the rest go to Mexico and are sold there. So by leaving this stuff by the curb, I'm actually helping people a little bit better than I would if I took them to a charity, which after I thought about that for a while made me feel a lot better. My daughters were worried about their stuffies and putting them by the curb and how fast they disappeared by the curb. I told the girls, those stuffies are going to a home. They're not going to a landfill. because they were worried about that. And I pointed out to them they disappeared before the garbage truck came. And again, we talked to the people who picked that stuff up. I just got curious one day and stopped one and had to talk. Surprisingly nice people. And they were wanting to give me their phone number so I could call them to come get stuff. Okay? I mean, that's how they make their money. They take stuff and recycle it. And I'm okay with that. So if you ever find yourself in a place where you have to sell your life, do some research. And I will admit, I did sell some computer stuff on Facebook Marketplace fairly easily. Now, up next are my video games. I'm going to start on those pretty soon. And I'm pretty sure eBay is where I'm going to end up selling that stuff. The local resale shops give you 5 to 10% on the video games. I already talked to them, you know. And I've got some N64 games, Nintendo games, original Nintendo. I've got an Atari Jaguar that looks like it's selling for the whole thing for about $1,000 on eBay. No way I would sell that to a local shop because they're going to give me 50 bucks for the whole thing. Okay? And when I say Atari Jaguar, I've got 10 CD games. I've got the CD drive, the memory card for the CD. I've got 2 controllers, a controller upgrade so it can hold 4 controllers, and I've got about 15 cartridge games for that thing, and it's in perfect working condition. Okay, and that's why I can get about $1,000 for it. That's one of those highly collectible things. I have a Nintendo Virtual Boy, has the dreaded video board cable breakage, so I'm going to only get about $150, $200 for it, but in great condition. That's another $800 item. Camera's telling me the battery's out, so I gotta go. Hopefully someone finds this useful. I know I made the video too long, but if I help someone, it's worth it.